just so real. Already know exactly how you feel. See the head, not like seeing a steeple. You damn well know they're one of the people. Nobody breaks us, 'cause nobody made us, and no one can take this 'cause we got their fix. We are the people, we are the people, we are the people. Don't mess with this.
Good morning. It is Patrick and the people. It's Thursday, Friday Eve, baby. What is going on in your world?
It is. We've made it almost. Man.
We have, man. Big Saturday coming up for you with the Wise Guys debut in Hot
Yes,
Springs.
sir. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Bank OZK, right?
Yep. Bank OZK Arena. Go on Facebook. Look up Hot Springs Wise Guys Arena Football. Man, they're posting daily.
Yeah, let's everybody get out there and support them and see what it's all about, man. Have some fun and see Rich in action.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's going to be a great time. Pre-game party's going to kick off at 6 o'clock. It's going to be right in the concourse there, the Bank OZK Arena, as you mentioned. It's the Bud Light pre-game party. So.
And then tomorrow, is it tomorrow where you're going to meet everybody and kind of get the lay of the land and everything lined out? Is that,
Yeah. So
Yeah,
at
that's
a
exciting.
Undisclosed location, but kind of run through everything and get to meet everybody and get everybody's names.
That's exciting, though, man.
Start putting together all my stuff.
Start learning how to pronounce them because you're always going to have some with a different name and you want to get it right.
Right, exactly. I was working on my touchdown call a little bit yesterday.
Yeah.
I was trying to see, should I just be like, Hot Springs Wise Guys touchdown? Or,
we should talk about that. For sure.
Got to make it a signature.
You got to think about that. You probably want to say something other people don't say. Touchdown seems, it's a good one.
Right.
Maybe there's
But I feel like we can spice it up some.
Certainly, yeah. Let's see. So it's the Wise Guys. I'm going to think about that a minute, man.
Right.
Surely we can come up with some kind of signature phrase.
I would think so.
That would make
between
that
the
work.
two of us, maybe.
And maybe even with the listeners and viewers.
Absolutely.
Maybe they have some ideas for a good signature touchdown phrase.
Y'all submit your ideas.
Let's
Let's hear
Wise
them
Guys.
today. Yeah, for sure.
I could see incorporating Wise Guys into it and then finding something alliterative with a W or a G.
Yeah.
That might work. So that's at least in my mind what I'm thinking about. But
absolutely.
It's interesting.
We'll get there, man.
Yeah. I'm excited for you, man. I'm super.
You said you're going to come check out the game, huh?
That's what I'm planning to do.
All right.
So
yeah, man.
Absolutely. If everything goes well, depending on showings and whatnot, then I plan to be there.
I think it's going to be. I think everybody's going to show up and show out.
I feel like it'll be packed out for the opening for sure. Everybody's going to be curious, if nothing else.
If you haven't gotten tickets yet, or you just want to take advantage of a great thing, tomorrow is going to be that blood drive in Benton.
Oh, right.
And all you do is donate blood, man, and you get 2 free tickets to
Really?
the game. And
2 free tickets just for giving blood.
Just for giving blood,
That's
man.
That's pretty nice. That's a pretty good deal right there, man. Let's see what else is going on. Big thanks to Fitz Auto for being a sponsor. If you don't know, they are our primary sponsor. And listen, if you're looking for a vehicle, Fitz Auto is the place to go. It's really that simple. I've bought, my family has bought 7 vehicles from them and never had a bad experience, honestly. And I mean that. They have taken care of us every time. They just have great vehicles, any kind of vehicle you want. If you've had tough credit, they can work with you. They do work with people. They work with you on down payments, all kinds of stuff. Just go check them out. You can go to fitzauto.com or go in person. It's 8421 Stagecoach Road in Little Rock. Let's get to a little bit of news you can use here. See what's going on. The Tate brothers are facing charges in the UK. It was announced Wednesday. Andrew Tate facing 10 charges. Tristan hit with 11. Those charges include actual rape, bodily harm, and human trafficking. They were first arrested in Romania back in December of 22. And they searched Andrew's home in 24. They had allegations, but they've denied it, of course. But, I don't know. I don't care much for Andrew Tate, what I've seen of him anyway. How about that? The cast of Season 3 for House of Villains has been revealed. Now, this game show, if you hadn't seen it, it's a real good reality competition. It's a lot of fun. And they compete for $250,000. So that's a pretty good deal. Tom Sandoval, New York, Tiffany Pollard, New York. Paul from Big Brother, Kate from Below Deck. Let's see who else is on there. Um, Ashley Mitchell from The Challenge. All kinds of quasi celebrities.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
you're
on
not
there.
necessarily your celebrities,
No, they're not
but
the
you're
A-list. They're reality circuit
Right.
celebrities. You know what I mean?
absolutely. I
But if
got
you like that kind of stuff, it's fun.
I saw an advertisement yesterday, an ad on TV for a new show coming out called The Snake.
I haven't seen that one.
You
though.
haven't
I hadn't
seen
seen
it?
a preview of
It was talking about like I guess the whole point of the game, and I don't know for sure. I can look it up, but is to deceive all the other people.
Okay,
obviously,
there's a couple of them like that out right now. Of course, Traders has some aspects of that.
yeah.
There's another one called The Mole.
Okay.
So there's a few where you play the spoiler, and you're trying to. But that sounds good though. Sounds interesting.
Well, it was interesting because they were talking about like the people that are going to be on it, and it was of course
Yeah.
all but one of them is a pastor,
Oh,
and so I was like, okay, that's
wow.
interesting.
Okay.
Like, yeah,
That's wild.
yeah.
The man that portrayed a doll that still gives people nightmares has died. OG Chucky actor Ed Gale died at 61. He passed away in Los Angeles on Tuesday. He played the killer doll Chucky in 1988's Child Play and then appeared in a couple other movies in the franchise. He did some other films as well. He was pretty young, 61.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty young. Let's see what else is going on. The Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, admits that the allocation for the FAA in the approved spending package won't be enough to support upgrades in air traffic. He's repeatedly stressed that low staffing numbers and outdated tech are the root of incidents that require significant funding. He said, we're going to need them to fully fund this project, and we need it up front. That's a big ask. Yeah, I think probably you ought to do that shit. When it comes to airplanes and landing them safely or flying them safely, I think whatever that requires, you ought to do it. Don't
Yeah.
you think
I
that's
mean,
a worthwhile investment?
I would think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
flying's kind of a big deal.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
kind of like, maybe we'll invest in stoplights that work. What? Probably you should invest in that stuff.
Wasn't there a shortage of like air traffic controllers though back
Well,
in the 80s or something?
There was.
Yeah.
There was a strike for sure and then a shortage. But this has been, we have more flights now than ever, so it's more problematic now
Right.
than it once was.
I wonder if they'll increase the age that you can start training or anything.
I don't know.
I don't know. It was when I was younger. That's what I wanted to do. Was like I was
Air
like, I
traffic
want to be an
control.
air traffic controller.
I can
That'd
see
be
that.
Fun.
I can see that. I can see that. You with those headphones on like those guys have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
plane number, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. Anyways,
Yeah.
but like,
Tail number 653. You are clear to land.
Yeah.
653 on runway 4.
I'd be the best to like.
Yeah, wouldn't that be
air traffic-
exciting? Yeah. No,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
it's too stressful, man. That's what that is. No, because one spliff and it's done, baby.
Well, when I finally, grew up and went through all my craziness
Right.
of life and went, okay, maybe I'll go, radio didn't pan out so well. Maybe I'll go air traffic controller now.
No, I get it.
And they were like, you're too old.
Yeah, no, I was going to be Indiana Jones. That was then I went for a period of time where I wanted to be a psychologist in my mind.
Oh, okay.
But radio was always what I wanted to do. And,
Yeah.
and it took me a little while to get over there, but I did fortunately work my way to it.
Right.
Which is exciting to say that you did that at least.
Absolutely, man.
Absolutely. The Detroit Tigers had a amusing reason to pause their game Tuesday. A squirrel ran around on the outfield in the first inning against the Giants, dashing past the left fielder Riley Green, made its way to the bullpen of the Tigers. So they had to pause the game for a little bit. Great news. I know you all have been waiting. Todd and Julie Chrisley are out of prison. They got pardoned.
Oh, they officially?
Yeah.
Yay!
That's hey, that's what you need to know.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are talking shit about it, and I get why. I mean, optically, sometimes it's funny if you see something like that where the celebrities get out, but apparently that lady Alice, who Kim Kardashian got her out of prison, that was one of her big initiatives, and she heads up the part of the government, I guess, for the president that it finds prisoners to get out early or
Oh, okay.
overturn things or get their
They're
cases.
the pardon searcher person. Yeah.
kind of. Yeah, wherever. I guess they try to find cases that were an injustice in their mind and overturn them. So she's in charge of that. But it was a lot of people were talking about. Well, thank God the Chrisleys are out. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, a federal court in New York blocked Trump's tariffs yesterday. Obviously, you know what tariffs are. Everybody's talked about them. This is the U.S. Court of International Trade. A 3-judge panel ruled that they went beyond the powers of the presidency using an emergency law to set the tariffs without the approval of Congress. So, it's just another lawsuit.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Geez, Patrick, it must be Thursday.
Right? It must be That's right. Elon Musk left his role as special government employee in the Trump administration last night, ending his time leading the Department of Government Efficiency. It had always been a temporary thing. He's been, of course, a key advisor. He started off boarding Wednesday night, and he did criticize the big spending bill. He said, "Yeah, how are we going to save money and then you're going to spend money?" But sometimes you got to spend money too. But yeah, I get your question. What else is going on here that's of interest to you?
We're
Okay.
getting some good suggestions in already, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like what?
Little Doggy said, when someone makes a touchdown, I could say they finished the heist or brought home the goods.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He said fumbles could be getting stolen.
Yeah, I like where they're going with that. Kind of some old maybe
Old
some,
school mobster,
some mobster
kind of
old
things.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
that might be interesting.
Good idea,
to incorporate. That's
Interceptions could be a
very
hijacking.
clever. Very clever. Very clever. No, I think that's a clever idea, Mike. I like that. Yeah, that's get tackled. They got whacked.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, see?
He did it. That's a little doggy out there doing it. So good for him. That's a good idea. Maybe we'll play around with looking some of that stuff up and seeing what could apply to that.
Way to become platinum. It's a thing between me and him.
Oh, okay.
He always calls me platinum rich for some reason.
I see.
So
Does he?
I was throwing it back to him.
Okay, well, that's great, man. That's amazing. The Trump administration canceled $766 million to fund Moderna to develop a vaccine against flu viruses like the bird flu yesterday. The money was actually it was given in July 24 and was meant to help create a new vaccine. Yeah, I think we're full up on vaccines right now. Why don't we go back to the original vaccines, get people to take those, and then we'll bring some new ones along. How about that? Let's wait a little while on that. What else here? Ford is recalling 1.1 million vehicles, including the Escape and Lincoln Navigator. There's a software glitch that can make your rear view camera freeze or go dark when you're reversing. Affects models like the 21 through 24 Bronco, F-150, 2023 24 Escape, among others. So check and see if you've got a recall.
Crazy.
When you do have those recalls, though, you take them up to the dealership and they fix it free.
Right.
Now, I did have one, man, lamest recall. I briefly had this little, what was it? That it was a little, a GMC. It was a little, you remember that little vehicle I had when you first probably met me? It was just a little dump car.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, a Terrain. That's what it was, a GMC Terrain.
Oh, okay.
And so there was a recall on the headlights because apparently those headlights, the way the beams came out, they could be blinding to other drivers.
Oh, okay.
So they had me bring it in for the recall. Well, I brought in 2 or 3 vehicles on recalls, and they'll put the new parts on and everything. Man, I went there and I waited 3 hours for them to put 2 pieces of tape, a decal on each of my headlights to block the light. And I'm like, bitch, you could have sent me the stickers. So why am I waiting 3 hours? You put some stickers on it, man. Are you kidding me?
Because it requires mechanical knowledge.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what it is.
You know, they were talking, though, on there about the backup cameras not working out. Man, I wish, you would think in this day and age we'd be able to just come up with something that you could mount on your window and you could just look in and see automatically
that it
where
just
you're backing
project
up
on
at
the
without,
window.
without having
I
to,
think we're getting closer to that.
yeah,
But
almost
yeah.
like I don't know, maybe a mirror or something.
Oh yeah, maybe
Yeah,
a mirror. I don't
right.
know. That's a good idea.
Instead
I
of,
never thought of
kind of a fail safe if the camera doesn't work.
Yeah, Laura's always like, "Why don't you use your camera?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just have all my life. I turn around, I look
Right,
backwards, and I just go back that way." I don't know. It seems weird to me to look at a camera when I'm going the other way.
Yeah.
But that's just the old school in me. You know what I'm saying? On Memorial Day in Austin, Texas, siblings Aaron Beckman and Daniel Russell completed the 32nd annual CapEx triathlon together. It was an emotional milestone. Daniel, who uses a wheelchair due to damage from leukemia, was carried through the entire race by his sister. This was Erin's 47th triathlon, but her first with her brother by her side. She said she trained specifically for the demands of carrying him safely. The race involved a 750-meter swim, a 12-mile bike ride, and a 3-mile run. And apparently she toted him the whole time. Well, it's a pretty tough chick.
Right?
Yeah, no, save me.
sister, man.
That's nice right there. That's a tough chick right there. Chevelle, yeah, you know the band, not the car. Had just announced a new album, and I like Chevelle quite a bit. Yeah, I really do. It's going to release August 15th. It's called Bright as Blasphemy. It's the first new music in 4 years for them. Back in 2021, they dropped an album. The lead single for this one, Rabbit Hole, is already number 9 and climbing. They just dropped a new video for it. They've got another new single called Jim Jones, which explores the themes of endless challenges. I don't know what the hell that means. Even. Sounds good. Metallica's Black Album, another milestone for them. Their 5th album, which is often referred to as the Black Album, certified double diamond by the RIAA. It sold over 20 million copies.
Nice.
Yeah, released in 91. It hit number 1 in 10 countries, had hits like Enter Sandman, Nothing Else Matters. Their 1986 album, Master of Puppets, got 8 times platinum status for passing 8 million. It's a pretty fundamental album in the metal history. But that's cool, man. Double diamond, 20 million copies of one album.
20 million copies.
That's pretty good.
Just right behind Baby Shark.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's just slightly better than Metallica. Now, this is Performing Under Pressure. Ghost lead singer Papa V. Perpetua performed Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody at the Polar Music Prize ceremony in Sweden with Queen's Brian May and Roger Taylor in the audience. He was joined by Opeth guitarist Frank Akesson and Eric Erickson Chamber Choir. Ford sang in front of a bunch of Swedish people. Queen collaborator Adam Lambert also performed. Yeah, I don't know what this is all about.
All these celebrities went out and saw a cover band.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that
happened.
knew. That's, yeah.
Yeah. Chicago punk band Rise Against announced their new album, Ricochet. It's going to drop August 15th. It's their first album in 4 years as well. The band dropped a new single, I Want It All, with a music video following the singles Nod and Prize Fighter. So looks like August is a big month.
Right.
CBS kicked off the countdown to season 50 of Survivor, and this one is all returning cast members, including the White Lotus creator Mike White. He last competed in season 37. Other returning fan favorites, Colby Donaldson, Aubrey Bracco, Sari Fields, Ozzy Lust. Ozzy is a good competitor. Kyle Fraser. So lots of good people in there if you like Survivor, and a lot of people do. I mean, it's other than the real world, it's about the most OG reality show as far as competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like it. This is weird. On Tuesday, prison guards in Costa Rica busted a cat trying to import crack cocaine into the penitentiary. In a statement, police officials said they caught the cat trying to climb the perimeter fence of the prison with 2 drug packages attached.
What?
The first, 235 grams of weed. The second, 67 grams of crack. After the bust, the cat was turned over to National Animal Health Services. Listen, I'm not shocked that they sent an animal or anything to a prison with drugs. What I want to know is how the hell you trained a cat.
That's what I was wondering.
I mean, whoever did this.
You had some time.
Forget the drug trade, man. You could go do a YouTube video right now and get rich as. You hear me? Tell me how to train a cat and make it do something like that.
That is
Shit,
crazy.
Man. Most cats just like to show you their butthole and walk away. Let you know who's in charge. You know what I mean? You got this one carrying the weed and the crack over the fence.
Over the fence, going on a Mission Impossible.
He did get caught, but I mean, otherwise, that's impressive to me. Let's see.
Yeah, dude, that had to take some time.
No, that definitely took effort there. A new study found that the amount of time a person spends doom scrolling through social media directly corresponds to the amount of fake news they believe is true. This study, if you believe it, was co-authored by Michigan State University. 189 participants shown 20 news stories, 10 real, 10 fake, all on social media. They were random, and the credibility of the stories was rated by the people reading it. Through the study, they found somehow people who overuse social media tended to be more likely to believe fake news. Yeah, if you get all your news from TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook, you probably aren't getting the news. You're just getting people's opinions for the most part. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I mean, it's not far off if you turn on 4, 7, or 2 anyway. So
yeah, well,
you're pretty much getting the people's opinions there, too.
Probably pick 3 news sources that don't have the same opinions and read that. That's the best way to go. Christy Crampton was arrested at Sanford Orlando International after hitting a kid on a Allegiant Airlines flight to Hagerstown, Maryland. The kid was part of a group coming back from Disney World and called her Fat and Miss Piggy. Said she couldn't fit in her seat. So she hit the child with her fist, a water bottle, slammed his head into the window. Jeez. She told the police the kid was rude and disrespectful. During their trip, she took pictures before using violence. The kid's family didn't give a statement. She faces felony child abuse charges. Yeah,
look, you
can't. I get it. The kid may call you fat, but I don't think you can punch him and smack their head into a window.
For real.
I mean,
it's a little
and,
drastic.
And were you too big to fit in the seat? I mean, I don't know. And why was he calling you fat? What was that about? He just started blurting it out. He was just that kind of asshole. Sometimes kids are. And sometimes you want to bash their head into the glass. Bow, bow. Just a quick, bounce it, dribble off.
But you can't, yeah.
No, if you're going to do it, you better be slick about it. You better be real slick, My dad, when he would get mad and we were in public, he'd just get his hand down here and get a side of my belly fat on the side and just pinch it. Boy, let me tell you something. You'd be like, oh.
Yeah. All right. Yep.
But nobody else really knew what was going on. You know what I mean? And you got to be slick like that. The Nevada Highway Patrol and the Sheriff's Office teamed up for a 4-hour sting operation, and they issued 147 citations for traffic violations like speeding and running red lights. Wow, that's a super speed trap. They got everybody that came through, apparently. Jesus, that's a lot, man.
I heard they were pulling people over left and right over Memorial Day, though. Like, somebody told me that, somebody told me.
They do that usually, yeah.
But somebody told me in Hot Springs, they, turned on their scanner or whatever just to listen, and they pulled over, 45 cars in an hour or something. Damn. It was crazy.
That is crazy. The Oklahoma City Thunder, the OKC, are now 4 wins from their first title since moving out of Seattle. They are the kings of the Western Conference. They manhandled the Timberwolves 124-94 in Game 5 of the conference finals Wednesday. It's the first time the Thunder are in the finals since 2012, and that had young Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. They lost to the Miami Heat with LeBron James. This is big for them. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led the way with 34 points. Chet Holmgren added 22. Look, SGA is averaging 32 points through the playoffs. That's pretty amazing. I think last night he was on 48 and 8 or something. I don't know. They're going to play the Pacers or the Knicks in the finals, and it's going to be the Pacers. I think the Pacers lead 3-1. I think they're going to close it out. I don't even think New York's going to win another game.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to have the Pacers at OKC, and I think that's an intriguing matchup. If you like the NBA, I think these teams are well matched up. A lot of people say Oklahoma will run through Indiana. I don't think so this time. I think the Pacers are.
Both of them had a lot of, interest, and I'm trying to think of the word to describe it, but they've both been in the news for their plays, and weren't we just talking with Bundy yesterday about the Pacers getting, what was it, 40-some points or whatever?
Well, right, yeah, they have peaked at the right time, and they are very scrappy and very young, much like OKC. And I think, if you beat the Knicks, the Pacers were not. Ain't nobody projected the Pacers to go to the finals. No,
Right.
not even the Pacers. And so this is pretty epic that they picked up more and more momentum. And I think those are the kind of people that become giant killers. So OKC better really be careful, because this is a trap game for them if they play Indiana.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. NFL Power Index has come out, and ESPN Football's Power Index for the upcoming season. The Eagles lead by the narrowest of margins over Kansas City Chiefs when it comes to who they think will be the Super Bowl champs. Defending out the top five, or rounding out the top five, the Ravens, the Lions, and the Bills. At the other end of the spectrum, the Browns, whom they say have a 14% chance of nabbing the first pick in the draft. Everybody loves the Eagles. They're a great team. Who knows what's going to happen?
So they're saying that they're going to beat out Kansas for a spot, huh?
Well, they think they will. That's what they did right now. They think
just by like a tush push. Huh?
Yeah, by maybe a tush push. That's right. For those who don't know, the United States has a national flag football team. The quarterback, we talked about it briefly, Darryl Dissett. After the NFL owners voted to let players from the NFL compete for a spot in the 2028 Olympics, Dissett went on the record saying they already have a quarterback. That was something that Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce took issue with. He called out Dissett saying, "Is this guy afraid of competition? Just have a tryout. The best players make the team." He went on to say he was boxing out other people from joining him because they hadn't played this specific style of football. Well, look, he's the one that got him to the dance, so he feels a type of way about it.
Right.
And these pros are, chances are both of them have a point. The pros are pros. I mean, they're there for a reason. And look, I don't care who you are in the flag football universe. If all of a sudden Pat Mahomes comes in and goes, "Yeah, I think I'm going to do," you're like, "Here, let me give you the ball." Pat.
Right, yeah.
I mean, come on, man. I don't care how well you've done in flag football. These come on, bro.
These are NFL guys. I
get it. It sucks to get all that way and think, but you're not asked out yet until you are. And then let's end it on this one. NFL Hall of Famer and commentator Terry Bradshaw, never short of opinions. He had a few when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. He was said the Pittsburgh Steelers' pursuit of Aaron Rodgers is a joke. He backed it up by asking, "What are you going to bring him in for a year? Are you kidding me? That guy needs to stay in California, chew on bark, and whisper to gods out there."
Wow.
Yeah, Terry, not
a fan.
Not a fan. Clearly. Not a fan. All right, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a minute. All right.
It's so sublime, yo. That's right. I got my girl in the caddy, 4-door and a 6-body trunk. Yeah, she call me daddy, cause I'm the righteous father of funk. We bouncing at the stoplight, fenders moving to the beat. Everybody wanna get in right, it sure don't matter the street. Slow rolling in the roundabout, lifted and curving out. Purple paint popping under street lamps, flexing so hard I almost caught a real cramp. Sitting cloud wrapped in my crushed velour, grab a Cuban out the humidor. That Haitian smoke is silky smooth, but it ain't got nothing on this funky groove. We bouncing at the stoplight, fenders moving to the beat. Everybody wanna get in right, it sure don't matter. Chrome is shining so Might be the car that book 'em, but it's that groove that cook 'em. It's getting funky here tonight. Break it down all the way downtown. Riding this sleigh, you found the right beat today. We bouncing at the stoplight, fenders moving to the beat. Everybody wanna get in right. It sure don't matter the street. Bass slapping, toes tapping, act like it didn't happen. Let's ride. Let's ride.
Josh Taylor over at First Horizon just did it again. I just had another first-time home buyer, a couple who got into a home. Literally, they paid $500 to get into this home. That's right, $500 total dollars is what they paid to get into their new home. Why? Because First Horizon Bank has grant money that they offer, whether it's income-based, you're a professional, or a first responder. They have grant money for all of that, and it can help pay your down payment, your closing cost, and more. Josh is good people. He's just like you and I, and he can help you out. Look, you want to get into a house for $500? Yeah, Josh Taylor's the guy to call. 351-2579. It's 351-2579. Josh Taylor over at First Horizon Bank, and you tell him that Patrick sent you, all right?
Have you been injured? You need an attorney with a passion for people and an obsession with justice. That attorney is Tim Reed in Little Rock. Look, they've won $1.3 million in wrongful death, almost $1 million in medical malpractice and in insurance dispute. These guys know what they're doing, but more importantly, he's not a figurehead of some kind. He's not just some person on a poster with a picture of a rig or a smile or his dog with him. This is a real guy you can text with, you can talk to, and who will take good care of you. He'll work with you personally to get what you deserve. Check out reedfirm.com, reedfirm.com, or give him a call, 777-7333.
All right, we are back. We are back. Good morning. It is Patrick and the people. Be sure and head over and like us on YouTube. If you haven't, get over there and like us. What are we supposed to do?
Like and subscribe, that button, or hit that like and subscribe.
Yeah,
something
there
like
you
that,
go.
yeah.
Something like that. Pound that
There you go, little
button.
dog. Yeah, when he said, "Go click the like button."
There
Make
you
sure
go.
to retain eye contact.
There you
wanna,
go.
You want to really connect with that.
That's
subscribe.
right. That's exactly right. We want to connect. We will make eye contact with you while you follow us on YouTube.
Okay,
Just-
maybe not. That just
No,
sounds
no.
weird.
Just take your phone right now and record this. Just look at my face. I'm making eye contact while you push that button. There you look at you. You're doing
just a
it.
little bit. Just give it a click.
There it is. All right. Now just save that and give yourself your reward when you get done. You see, it's that simple, really.
Did you see? I posted a video on my Facebook, and I posted it on TikTok too. We had a
Yeah.
we had a listener make a little clip out of some of the things we were
I
talking
did
about
see
yesterday.
that. It was pretty damn funny, actually.
Man.
Did people like it?
Yeah, a few people have reacted to it.
Yeah.
There wasn't any comments or anything,
It was
but
it was
if
a
you haven't
funny
seen it
match.
yet, go check it out.
Yeah,
It's-
Jay Sorsby sent that over, and it cracked me up. You know, shit's funny, man. It was funny for sure, man. It was a good cut, and he did it so quick, man. It was like must have just hit him when he was listening and went, "Oh, this. Let me do this."
Yeah.
And I was like, "That was clever, man. That is pretty damn clever." Man, I got a weird story here that
A weird story?
I know. This one is, man. You never want to find out that anybody's cheating on you. You know, that's a shitty feeling to have, and here's one of those stories where they found out in the weirdest way. So this woman started suspecting her husband was cheating after she checked the data on her electric toothbrush app and noticed they were brushing at odd times of the day. Now, Paul Jones, who's a British PI with a decade of experience, recounted one of his most unusual cases. He said catching a cheating partner in the act is rare, but Rarer still is catching him cheating with the help of an electric toothbrush, and yet it happened. One of Jones' clients, a married mom of two, was trying to improve her children's brushing habits by monitoring their electronic toothbrush use via smartphone app. She noticed the brush was being used at strange times of the day when her kids were supposed to be at school and her husband at work. So after making sure the kids were indeed at school, she confronted her husband, who claimed to have been at work all day. Well, over time, the client noticed their partner's brushing history was being logged at odd times when they were supposedly at work. At first, it didn't seem like much. Brushing late in the morning or on Fridays didn't raise immediate red flags, but over time she saw a pattern. And so she saw it on this particular Friday morning being used when he was supposed to be at work. In reality, her spouse hadn't been to work on Friday in months. Instead, he was having an affair with a colleague in their house.
Wow.
Yeah. Time-stamped, location-based, and emotionless. That's the toothbrush data that did him in. I mean, that's pretty, that's pretty damning when you have the toothbrush, to testify against you.
I mean, yeah, that's
What a way to catch somebody.
well, seriously, but okay, so number one, look, man, just don't cheat. If you're not happy,
No,
just
you're
leave.
an asshole.
Just for real.
Yeah, don't do that.
It always gets found out one way or the other. The truth always comes to the
It's going to
surface.
come out, man. And why would you do that to yourself or your friends or your family or anybody? I mean, don't.
Right.
Look, I mean, I'm not getting on a soapbox.
No, I
better
get it,
than
but-
anybody else, but I'm saying that's not ever the way to go, man. I mean, look, at least call them and break up with them before you bang the other person.
Right.
Just call and say, listen, I'm sorry.
It's not working.
It's not working. I'm going to bang this
What's
chick.
that
We're done."
noise I hear? Don't worry about it. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, don't worry about that.
But also, again, how dependent on technology?
You're right.
Dude, it's
No, I mean, technology will catch you. Your phone will catch you. Everything will catch
everything.
you. Yeah.
Everything.
No, I mean, I assume.
And I'm just gonna add. I'm gonna tally it up because while you were gone, I had done a story on a lady that had divorced her husband because she took she took a picture of his coffee grounds and put it into Chat GPT, and Chat GPT read the coffee grounds and said he was cheating on her.
Okay, now that seems
So
insane.
now we have the
Yeah, no,
toothbrush, we have coffee grounds.
One of them collected data, the other's some coffee grounds. I mean, I'm not. Maybe
No, this is scientific data,
Yeah,
Patrick.
maybe coincidentally that worked out, but I got cheated on earlier, in my adulthood, and at that point I said, I don't want to do that. I don't want that done to me.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's a bad feeling. So just call and say, listen, we had a good run, but I don't like you anymore. I'm going to bang this person. Okay.
Time's up.
So I'll see you later.
Right.
But
Best of luck to you.
Yeah, make sure your shit's out when you do that, because otherwise you may show up and it'd be a big problem.
Take your freaking toothbrush.
Yeah. This is an Arkansas story. It's been 72 hours since the former Arkansas police chief, who's serving decades in prison for murder and rape, escaped Sunday afternoon. The former Gateway Police Department chief, Grant Harden, 56, escaped from the North Central Unit Sunday afternoon in Calico Rock, according to the DOC. They said, we have a pretty good idea of the route that he took and some of those circumstances and what, if any, lapses happened. That's the communication director. Based on the information we have and the experience, feel fairly confident he's still fairly close to this region. They said it only takes one vehicle for him to travel elsewhere, but they've established a perimeter around the area of Stone County. They still think very confidently he's in the area. They said the public should assume he's very dangerous. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Said it took less than 30 minutes for prison officials to notice he had disappeared. They posted to social media, got it out there. Yeah, this guy just had a documentary. He became known as the Devil in the Ozarks.
Yeah.
He was sentenced to 30 years for murder plus additional time for rape. He pleaded guilty to the 2017 murder of James Appleton, a water employee who was found shot in the face in his work truck. While Harden was being booked into state prison, officials submitted his DNA sample, and then that linked him to the rape of a cold case rape of a teacher back in 1997. a teacher at Frank Tillery Elementary in Rogers, and it was proven to be him beyond all scientific certainty. So, I mean, there's no question about it. Authorities confirmed that the DNA matched up, and the case has been cold for about 20 years. And you're seeing a lot of that happen now with the evidence, with DNA and everything, that they can go back and get a lot of these people, and they are.
Right.
And that's pretty awesome. But Harden is 6 foot, white dude, about 259 pounds. So probably looks like me, kind of, something like that. Yeah. That's wild though that he escaped. A lot of people, I guess, have seen
that he's
this
been gone
documentary.
for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Surely they'll find him. I don't know. He was a police chief, so he probably knows.
I mean, that's what I was thinking. He's got to know, like, the hiding spots and stuff. And not that he's not, like, a...
He has to know the better ways to not give away your trail.
And then part of me also wonders, like, again, not taking away from the fact that obviously he's a horrible human being and all that, but he was a police chief.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, saying maybe he doesn't have a friend somewhere that, is like, hey, man, come on, I got some property out in the backwoods off grid somewhere. They'll never find you.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they won't find him, but I don't know. They got a perimeter set up. If he hadn't escaped the perimeter, they may very well find him. But again, being a former chief, he probably does know how to hide his tracks better than others.
Right.
Yeah. Have you ever had any type of law issue, a bad experience with the law?
I mean, a few times. Yeah, like, what do you mean bad experience? I mean, like anytime usually the law is around, it's a bad experience.
That's fair. I guess, where you felt railroaded or something like that, where it was something of that nature.
Like, where I just wasn't...
Where you didn't feel guilty. You were just being set up.
Oh, I was just being set up.
Yeah,
okay.
Or were you... where your experience is all deserved.
Probably.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
Any experience
I felt railroaded when they came busting through that door, and I was 16 in the middle of a drug raid. Yeah, that was kind of a fun time.
Do it.
Yeah, that'll wake you up.
That'll do it. That'll get you going.
And the cop picked me up by my belt buckle and just threw me across the room.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a good time, man.
That was not a good time, I bet. No, that sounds like the opposite of a good time.
Yeah, no, not much fun.
No, the only time I was ever around anything like that was when they call them the boys on the tracks, but they were my classmates. I mean, we were in the same grade, went to the same parties. Kevin and Don, were from Bryant, and originally, they were murdered, but originally the testimony was they got too high and laid down on the railroad tracks and didn't wake up when the train came, because that makes sense, doesn't it?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good weed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah, no,
I mean, I've had a good nap on weed before.
Yeah,
man,
but do you think you could lay on some railroad tracks while a train was coming and
so
not
I think
wake
something
up?
would,
Yeah,
something would trigger me.
Oh, yeah, no, this ain't right.
Yeah.
I got to get up now, No, I come to find out one of them had been stabbed, another had been shot, and, they've never proven who did it or exactly what happened, but commonly everybody believes they stumbled across a drug situation,
and
that somehow it's long been rumored that police were at least somehow involved.
Okay.
Either they were turning their backs to it or they were straight involved in it. I mean, there was a lot of lying going on that was caught, you know. And so that's been, matter of fact, it was on the show Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's, they did have somebody, a wrestler, I think he's deceased now, but came forward to make some claims, but I don't know if that's true either. I mean, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
For the first time in Rasmussen Report's history ever, a majority of Americans say the U.S. is on the right track. This is the first time ever.
Wow.
It also, let's see what it says here. Yeah, for the first time ever, and how long have they been doing this? For over 20 years now? 30 years?
What is it exactly?
It's called the Rasmussen Report.
Thanks for clearing that up, Patrick.
Yeah,
I appreciate that excellent explanation, man.
It's a well-known publication that that covers a lot of different topics. They're not partisan, to my knowledge.
Okay.
And so every year they do a poll. They do lots of different polls, presidential polls, all the different polls.
Gotcha.
But in this particular case, they do one every year of, the U.S., is it on the right track or not? And normally the answer is no.
Gotcha.
And heartily no. So this is the first time in its history that the majority of people say it's on the right track. I thought that was interesting.
Right. I mean, that is, yeah.
I mean, that's...
Does it say, like, the amount of people?
Well, it's about what you would expect, 52% or so. So just over half.
Okay.
Think we're on the right track, which is the most in history.
I mean, that's saying
wild.
something.
It is wild. I mean, it's interesting, I do think there are a handful of things that are back on the right track. It got a little off track for a minute there.
Yeah.
It got a little scary out there. I mean, look, gas prices are coming down. Inflation numbers are back in check pretty much. Now, are there still some expensive things? Of course there are.
Right.
But I do think that we're starting to
come out the other side.
Yeah, come out the other side of it.
Right.
Hopefully it will continue to go that route. I'm not talking about whoever's doing anything. I'm just saying I'd like it to get better, not worse.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm not rooting for anyone to fail. because-
Whoever can fix it, just freaking fix it.
Just fix the shit. That's
Right.
all that I want. I think the biggest things they need to focus on, I think healthcare is a big thing they need to figure out. We need to solve that equation as a country.
Yeah.
And we've not done a great job of it. We got pretty close, I think, in the 90s. We had a pretty good run.
I was gonna say, I feel like when I was younger, health insurance wasn't such. I mean, we went to the doctor, we went to the dentist.
Well, it was more affordable. You had reasonable copays and everything. But,
right.
But they kept inflating the numbers. And you can blame the insurance companies and the medical professionals for charging different rates for insured customers versus non-insured customers. And
Right.
that's when the game changed.
Right.
So they want to bill as much as they can because the doctor may get 80% of that. Whatever it is you're paying in, and they want to get as much of it as they can.
Right.
So they'll charge the highest amount possible to get remunerated the highest amount possible, and then the rest of it comes from your copay or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, over particularly since around that first term when Obama did the Health Care Act. It was already in trouble before that, and that just put it over the edge.
Yeah, that just pushed it off the
let
cliff.
them all screw us over and go, we'll give you health insurance. You have a $5,000 deductible before your insurance kicks in.
I know, I hate that,
thanks,
man. I hate that.
Because that's really helpful to me, isn't it?
Right.
And I'm going to pay you $1,000 a month. No,
Yep.
this is a great
Yeah,
idea.
this makes
great.
total sense.
No, it's just perfectly. No, I couldn't use that $1,000 a month for anything else. I'd rather give it to you
and then
and not get anything back when I don't claim anything or reach my deductible.
right. Yeah.
Because if I don't reach my deductible, why don't you give me my money back?
Yeah. No, we'll go ahead and keep that.
No, they're not going to do that.
That's great. Yeah.
No,
And then the medicine that you buy while on that is still priced.
well, hopefully
crazy.
that's about to change dramatically because they did pass that law, which is going into effect here any day now, where that. Because for a long time, basically, we've been funding everybody else's medication.
Okay.
We were paying astronomically more than most countries were for the same medication.
Right.
So the law you put in place says whatever the lowest rate paid is what we're going to pay.
Gotcha.
And so they say it's going to drop prescriptions by between 70 and 90%. Now, I don't know. We'll see. But that's what should be happening to it, I mean, it should.
No,
be
I absolutely
affordable.
agree because I pay for my insurance that I have. I pay like about $160 out every check, and I get paid biweekly. So $160 out every check. I have a $6,000 deductible, and still for like one of the regular medicines my kiddo has to take for ADHD. It's still like $70 a pop when I go, so I'm like, man, I have to buy that monthly for him.
And do you use like any supplementary thing like GoodRx or what?
No.
You might check.
I may, I know we've talked about that before.
Kroger used to have their own program. I don't know if they still do, but I know GoodRx. When I was using that, it saved me a lot of money. But also just telling the pharmacy your cash pay.
I may try that one out or something. But
I don't know. That may be your cash price, but I would check around on that depending on what it is, because Anytime I got to pay that much for a prescription, I'm like, what? Hold on a second.
Right.
You know?
And I have insurance? Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
And you know, too, you look at all these people out there that would benefit from, you know, taking advantage, and plenty of people have taken advantage of the shot, as they call it, you know, the, what is it, a GLP, the weight loss shot.
Oh, yeah.
Wegovy's, all those things. Man, they should be giving that shit away practically.
Yeah.
They should.
Right. No, I
mean,
agree.
do you know how much money it saves for people to not be fat?
Right.
I mean, and as a fat and former much fatter person, I can say that. I mean, look, it's terrible for your health to be that overweight.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, everybody knows that's true. Nobody's so stupid they don't know that. You know, so why not give them that? I mean, shit, fund that. Instead of making everybody take the vaccine, how about send that to every fat person?
Everybody gets
Here,
skinny.
If you're fat and you want to be skinny, we'll pay for this. Come on,
Right.
let's do it. Let's all get skinny and healthy around here.
I mean, they do it for
I mean,
smoking cessation.
yeah,
Quit
I'm just
smoking,
saying,
you can
I
call
mean,
up a number and get patches.
I guarantee you that obesity is the number one cause of exacerbated conditions people die from: heart attack, stroke,
Right.
blood pressure, etc.
Right.
I guarantee you that's what it is, especially here where we're at.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you know, and I love a thick stick. Don't get me twisted. Don't get me twisted. But I'm just saying that everybody would benefit from it. And so, and you know, what's interesting too is, you know, you can buy this stuff overseas, oftentimes much cheaper. You know, or you can buy peptide versions of things.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
there's a lot of different ways that we could be doing it to benefit people that we're not.
Where does that line stop at, though?
Because
I mean,
pharmaceutical companies that cock block any other.
No. I'm saying all right, let's say the government comes out and says, hey, everybody, we're going to give you free Ozempic shots.
Yeah.
So everybody can lose weight. We can stop.
Right.
But
Well, that's
if we do that, you could never have another McDouble from McDonald's again.
Well, I mean, that's a little too far, don't you think?
That's what I'm saying. Where's the line?
No, I mean, I understand.
Because if they're doing that and making everybody healthy, I mean, what's the point of paying that if you're just going to go still?
Look, they are cutting junk food out of the EBT.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if I agree with that or not. Everybody deserves some junk food now and again.
I do, man.
But I can kind of understand. I mean, listen, do you really want your tax dollars to go for ho-hos and Twinkies? You know, I don't know.
No offense, but the way, and I mean, the way that I look at it is kind of like, if it's coming out of my taxes to make EB and everybody else's, why am I paying taxes so that you can live better than me? Mm-hmm. And I'm the one.
You think that if I buy
I'm the
the
one
ho-hos, that
I can't afford ho-hos, man. I mean, I'm just saying, not ho-hos,
you
but
better. You living fatter.
Well,
You got the diabetes.
this is true.
I mean, at some point, look, I'm not a fan of saying, hey, get rid of everything that's bad for you. You'll never do that.
Right.
And I don't want to live like a Quaker either, you know, but at some point we do have to accept, yeah, we eat a lot of bad shit.
Right.
It's not healthy for us and it makes us fat.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm first to raise my hand. And
But it's
shit,
so
I love
good.
anything that's similar to a donut. I want to eat that. You know, I mean, and that's just facts, man. And I struggle. You know, sugar is probably, you know, the biggest addictive substance we have.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think about it, man.
For sure.
I mean, honestly, it's an addictive substance,
Oh, yeah.
isn't it?
You're not. Yeah, look,
How many of you put sweetener in your coffee, whether it's sugar or whether it's sweetener?
I just had
Okay.
46 grams of sugar this morning.
Yeah, there you go, right there. I mean,
And I'll be the first one to admit, man, I am addicted to Mountain Dew.
Hey,
Addicted.
there you go.
If I don't have it for like 2 days, dude, I have a headache. I'm down. I'm
yeah, that's the
shaky.
caffeine and that shit.
Yeah.
Man. It's like- now I am that way with coffee. You know, I drink a lot of coffee through the day. I probably, even in the peak of summer, I'll still drink, you know, a couple in the morning and probably at least one in the afternoon, if not two. During the winter or cold months, man, I'm drinking coffee all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been able to do that.
I love coffee.
I'm just not, I've never gotten on the
I love
coffee
coffee,
trend,
yeah.
man.
Little doggy says, I'm telling, get that good RX card. It said $10 for most prescriptions.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, no,
get
I've
on
used
the-
a good RX and it is great. It really is a good way to save some money on that. If
Brandon
you're not
said,
using
Rich
it.
can't afford ho-hos. No, I can't, man. I can't.
What are you, ho-ho
a
shaming? Are
waste.
you snack shaming, Brandon? Are you snack shaming Rich right now? Because the guy's buying Rizzlers instead of Twizzlers.
Right, man. Hey,
You know what I mean?
you gotta save that money where
Yeah.
you can.
Let's save that money.
I'll pay gladly $1.19 for
What-
the Rizzlers.
What are the foods that you struggle to fight with?
As far as eating goes,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Anything sweet, anything.
Like, what's your go-to? If you had to pick a go-to.
Man, to be honest, like any gummy candy, like
Okay.
Sour Patch Kids, sour gummy worms, regular gummy bears.
Tyler likes those.
Yeah,
He
dude,
sure
I
does.
can just
You love the gummies. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
interesting. I'm not a gummy guy, but I can see that.
Yeah.
And see where those could be a little addictive too. Yeah.
It's just
Yeah. No, everybody knows mine. There's no secret. Donuts are
Donuts?
That's my kryptonite.
Homer Simpson over
Yeah,
here.
no,
I'm telling you.
I swear to God, man. I swear to God, I can't tell you the why other than that shit's delicious to me, but it's terrible for me.
Yeah.
Horrible for me.
I mean, I love a good donut too, but yeah.
I'm trying to move away from processed foods altogether.
Dude,
and
that's
it's
such
hard.
a hard thing to
It
do.
is hard because
There's so
we
much-
live such fast lifestyles.
Right.
You want things on the go, and yes, I know you can cook ahead. I know all the tricks.
Yeah,
I've seen
you
all
can do the meal
TikToks.
prepping and spend your whole
I
Sunday
get all
and-
that. I get all that stuff, and I understand it. But it is hard sometimes. When you're on the go, on the run, to always eat non-processed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, it's just like trying to cut that. I think that and trying to cut sugar out of your diet are
That's
like the hardest things because
that's the one I
everything
struggle
has
with.
sugar in it.
That's where I struggle, and I'm getting ready to get back at it. But I was doing good there for a while. It eliminated most sugars from my diet,
Yeah.
honestly, and obviously it resulted positively because I lost a shit ton of weight. But slowly but surely, I've allowed it to creep back in, and and I'm watching. I probably put on a couple pounds back, and I'm like, yeah, that's going to be a slippery slope. Get past these donuts, son. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about as far as let's leave food and talk about clutter in your house? Do you feel like is that something you have to struggle with, or is it just
No, but there's a reason behind it. Like,
Yeah.
I am, and sorry, Mom, I'm gonna call you out here, but my mom is one of those people that like she wants to keep every receipt, every
Kind of a
paper,
hoarder,
every
so to
yeah,
speak.
not necessarily a
Not
hoarder,
a
but
hoarder,
but
but
yeah,
certain
but
things.
right, you never know when you might need it, so
Right.
I'm gonna put it away, and
just like
everything's kept.
taxes, 3 years and gone?
Yeah. And so like that's how I kind of grew up. And so now like dude, the first chance that I can get to throw something away, I'm like, nope, that's gone.
Yeah.
Like don't need it, throw it away, gone. But
Yeah, well-
but I do understand growing up like that. Like,
No,
it
I get it
aggravates
too.
me.
A decluttering method has gone viral on social media. Those who've tried it swear it works. It's called the poop rule.
What?
It has people purging unwanted, unused stuff in the trash like it's literally covered in crap. So how does it work? Here
Wait,
it
what?
is. You ready? The poop rule is simple, explains Amanda Johnson, a content creator who's used it. While decluttering, ask yourself, if something was covered in poop, would I still keep it? She tried it at her house and was able to toss clothing, games, and home decor with ease, noting the technique is perfect for anyone who feels overwhelmed by clutter or struggles with decision fatigue. Here's my question is what covered in poop would you keep?
Right?
Almost nothing. If it's covered in poop, it's probably going away forever.
Right. It's yeah.
I
It's
mean, that's
done.
everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm trying to think of what I would keep.
Okay, everybody throughout the
You
whole
know,
house. Yeah.
maybe a precious family heir. I don't have any family heirlooms like that. I don't have any heirlooms. There's nothing.
No? Not
No,
a thing.
I mean, I guess my car.
Yeah.
My car. Yeah.
Does that really count as clutter though?
No, but I'm saying. I mean, what would you keep covered in poop?
I mean,
Like maybe you have a gun. How about a gun?
A gun.
My
I'm
dog-
thinking
My
of-
dog poops on my gun. Okay.
that's what I'm trying to think of, like stuff that would be clutter that I'd want to keep if it was,
Right, and obviously that's the answer they want. The conclusion they want you to come to is there isn't anything.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
just throw out everything.
Yeah.
'Cause I mean,
what do you need to keep
what,
really?
maybe picture frames or something.
Frames. Who's got pictures up anymore?
That's right.
It's all digital now. Still putting those on the wall, are you?
I mean, I like
no,
decorations.
I do
but
too. I
yeah.
do too.
I like some pictures.
Yeah, pictures like family pictures or like like painting type pictures.
I have all different kinds of ones, but yeah, I have painting pictures. I have a couple of old like
Do you
movie
have like
posters.
over your couch? Do you have like a big wide tall photo of you holding the mic and announcing?
No,
No,
but
you should, huh?
I do have like a 3-panel picture of an old school microphone and a pair of headphones over it.
Okay, that's cool.
And that's what
pretty
hangs over
cool.
my couch.
Yeah,
so,
well, you should replace it with you holding the
with
mic.
me, yeah. Maybe I'll get like an oil painting done of me or something at an
commission that.
event. Yeah.
Yeah, let's commission that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Maybe we should just have everybody submit a painting of Rich doing announcing. Any kind of painting at all. Any kind of painting. That'd be great.
Finger painting. Yeah.
Finger paint.
Yeah.
Just a drawing with markers.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, make a picture of Rich announcing, an art picture of Rich announcing, and tag us on social media in it. And you can make it with macaroni.
Right. There. Yes.
Glue that on and paint it.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. Y'all need to do this.
That
yeah.
would be hilarious, actually.
The winner can get an oil painting of me. Yeah.
Yeah, they get a set, they win a dinner with Rich.
Right.
That's what they get. A dinner with Rich.
I'm down.
And ringside seats.
In ringside
at a
seats to the next
VSW
event. There you go. Yep.
How about that?
All right. Let's do it.
If they do whatever the best one is, the best artistic version of
Patrick
Rich
and the
announcing.
people. Yep.
Yeah, you can go over to
post it on
social media.
Facebook?
Just put it on our Facebook. Or,
Okay.
Yeah, Facebook would be fine. If you don't use Facebook, then tag us on Instagram. That'd be fine as well.
So have somebody make that and put it out there, and everybody listening,
Yeah, I
share
don't
it.
care how
Go
they
like
make
and
it. I
subscribe
don't care how
and
they
submit
make
your
it.
picture.
You can make it any artistic represent. You can do it in the dirt and
Right.
sand. You can do it with paint. You could do it. It doesn't matter.
However, just a picture of me
just
announcing.
somehow an artistic depiction of Rich with a microphone announcing. And then the best one is going to get, what'd you say, the ringside
We're
seats?
going to
And
get
dinner with
ringside.
Rich.
Yeah, ringside
Dinner
seats to the
with
next
Rich
VCW.
and ringside seats.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man.
There you go.
That's man, that's great right there. You see what
Absolutely.
you're doing. You're giving hope to people around the world right now, man. That's great. Here we go. We're gonna take a break.
Sometimes I imagine that you left me just to know how deep despair can be. And when we're cast in this tragedy, you say the meanest things to me. You tell me that I don't matter, and I never probably did. Everything in me shatters, like I was just a fragile kid. I tell you I can't imagine life without you, but fact of the matter, I already did what I can say I know to be true. It's the worst life I've never lived. In the midst of my dark fantasy, there's a moment when I broke. It was the way you looked at me, destroyed by how your eyes just spoke. I watched you leaving from the other side of the window. I was practically heaving, wondering where you'd go. I tell you I can't imagine life without you, but fact of the matter, I already did what I can say I know to be true. It's the worst life I've never lived. I wish I couldn't see this alternate life, one in which I don't wanna live. For anything I'll ever say, just promise me you'll forgive. I tell you I can't imagine life without you, but fact of the matter, I already did what I can say I know to be true. It's the worst life I've never lived. It's the worst life I've never lived. It's the worst life I've never lived. It's the worst life I've never lived.
All right, we are back, and we just put out a little challenge, a little art challenge.
Yeah.
Do an artistic depiction of Rich announcing with a microphone for a chance to win dinner with Rich and ringside seats for VSW.
VCW.
I mean VCW. I'm sorry.
No, you're good,
I'm
man.
sorry.
You're good.
You know, it's
Yeah.
it's Thursday. It's almost Friday.
It's almost Friday. We're there.
Yeah. So you said that Tasha's in Pennsylvania, that she flew and she was anxious about it because all the stuff in the news or whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna shout her out because she's out there having
Well,
vacation
did
and
you have
still
a good-
listening.
Did
so.
you have a good flight? That's what I want to know. Was
Yeah.
it a smooth flight? Was
Tell
it
us.
easy? You know, everything went well. And what's up in Pennsylvania? Is that family there or something? Wonder why Pennsylvania of all places.
Maybe.
Just want to see the Liberty Bell.
Right.
You know, the Steelers.
Usually, I
What's
tell
going on?
people that ask me how I ended up in Arkansas that I got drunk one night and just threw a dart at a map, and
that's how you
where I
came-
went.
that's-
That's how I came to Arkansas.
That's kind of a funny. That would be a funny.
Right? They're usually like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Nah.
Yeah, well, of course I am. Yeah, yeah, very serious.
Little doggy said, "Will a picture of a poo finger paint on a bathroom stall?"
Uh,
No, if it's covered in poo, I gotta throw it out.
Well, yeah, I don't
clutter.
know if that will work or not.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It looks like our shipment of Lulu liquor cakes is out for delivery. So that's super exciting. That's one of the people that contestants from the blocks.
I know. I'm so sad, man.
Yeah, you won't be here tomorrow.
not gonna be
That's
here
right,
tomorrow,
That's right.
yeah.
So I think that we'll get it today and probably do it tomorrow. We'll probably try them out and see what we think about it.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll be watching.
Yeah.
I'll be watching.
Will you?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
It sounds like a really good idea, and I was
No,
kind of
it really
interested
is
in
good.
tasting it,
And it's she's sending us the sampler pack, so there's 4 different flavors of it.
Yeah.
So whatever booze you're into, they probably got it. And
They got a Jägermeister cake.
I don't think they have a Jaeger. Jaeger to me is only good with Red Bull. Otherwise, it's I don't want it. But it is very effective. Red Bull and Jaeger is a party.
That's what'll give you wings.
Well, that damn sure will give you wings, man. I mean, it's scientifically shown to have the same exact effect as cocaine. That's not a joke. That's the actual truth.
Just Red Bull or Red Bull
Red
mixed
Bull
with Jaeger?
And Jaeger
Really?
produces in the body, physiologically produces the exact same effect as cocaine. True story.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I thought so too. I was like, man, I better invest in some Red Bull.
Because it was
Jaeger.
it was because of cocaine. I found out I had ADHD.
Is that
so,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in the day, or just recently?
I mean,
like
just
2
it
weeks
was
ago?
like
Like 2 weeks
it was,
ago.
No.
or
It was
whatever
probably a good few years ago. But
Yeah.
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 No, I tried some one time, and everybody else is all going crazy and having a good time, and I'm like,
And you're like, yeah, this is cool.
this is,
I
I mean,
feel
whatever.
pretty normal all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
man. All of a sudden, I'm kind of mellowed out. It's
Yeah.
weird, and so then I was talking to my doctor about it, and they're like, "It's because you have ADHD. It
Yeah.
mellows you out."
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because I was like, I don't know what the hype is about cocaine, man. It kind of sucks as far as a drug goes.
Well,
Outside of I can read now.
I mean, I guess I get your point on that. Some people would say try more.
Yeah. No.
Listen,
I'll just stick with my weed.
this is let me give everybody a heads up because this is going to list today. It hasn't come up yet though, but it will come up this afternoon. I have a real bargain. You can go over to my Facebook page and see it now. It will show up on Zillow here in a little bit. But I've got a house that is for sale, a 3-bed, 2-bath in Saline County. It's in Shannon Hills and listen, I've lived in Saline County all my life. I've been up and down the roads for various reasons, as you can imagine, and I have never seen this road in my life until this house. And I'm like, how did I not even know this was back here? But it's kind of in a hidden pocket in Shannon Hills.
There wasn't anybody there that was, running after your car like an ostrich.
No, none of that. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath on almost 3/4 of an acre. It's got a storage building. It's been, for the most part, it's fully renovated. I mean, it's a gorgeous little house. I mean, just cute as it can be. It's got a circle drive out front, 155. Man, 155 people. That is a bargain, I promise you. Especially when you see this house, you'll be like, damn, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in that, reach out to me. You can reach out to me on Facebook. You can call me. You can text me. You can text the show. It doesn't matter. But it's over at 9925 Dublin, Dublin, like in Ireland.
Yeah.
Is the name of it in Shannon Hills, and it's just a tucked away little place, man. And it's like I said, about almost 3/4 of an acre, but partially wooded. It's got oak trees on it. So I mean, it's a nice little piece.
It is, man.
Out there.
It is. I saw when you posted it yesterday, and like. Yeah. Even me, like I know I'm still in my process of working, and it's a long road to get there.
Got you.
But,
I understand.
But enough to look at it and go, when I am ready.
Yeah, that's the kind of place that I'd be happy about.
Right, and could I afford that kind of house? And I was like,
absolutely, you could.
Yeah.
I got a lady yesterday, and I was so happy. And this is how it all works. This is just inside baseball. So I had a lady yesterday who, day before yesterday, emailed Josh Taylor over at First Horizon about the grants that I talked about.
Oh, right? Okay, yeah.
And Josh said, hey, Rachel sent me an email about the financing. She said she heard it on the show. I said, oh, well, I hadn't heard from her yet. Send me her contact real quick. And so I sent her a message, and she began, I'm not going to put all her business out, but she said, we have this much saved up. And we want to get this kind of house, but I'm just not sure if we have enough. And I was like, I got some good news for you. Based on what you told me about your credit, I've got a program where maybe most of the money even you won't have to use.
Wow.
And so we're not right now working on that. I'm supposed to talk to her a little bit later again today, and I'm super excited to help her out. Because here was a person who was saving and working on it and thought maybe that she couldn't because she didn't have enough money. But there's so many good programs right now. That's what I was just telling about one yesterday where there's a program where it's a down payment assistance, but at 5 years, if you're living in that home, it's wiped out. You don't owe it. It's like a grant as long as you stay there 5 years. Now, if you sell it before that, you have to pay that money. But if you stay there 5 years, and a lot of people when they buy a home are going to stay there 5 years. I mean, that's pretty common to see, and especially if you're buying a pretty decent home. You'll be there at least 5 years, and that's free money. I mean, shit, that is literally free money. It's hard to beat free money. But it's out there, and it's not just random people. I mean, it's legit, man. But there's a lot of good programs out there. You can also do, there's several programs with no down payments. What people sometimes don't know is you have a down payment, you have closing cost, and they're usually the same amount.
Right.
But again, I have, just as I've said, several buyers that they're not coming out of pocket big money. If you can get the seller to pay closing cost and you've got the right loan with either down payment assistance or no down payment, boom, you're paying for your inspection and you're getting a house.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty damn sweet.
The one thing that's always got me with that, because I had a friend that qualified for the rural development loan.
That's a good one.
State, but
we have that. Yeah.
I like that, with the down payment grant and everything, because with the rural development loan, he didn't have to put anything down, but his monthly payment is astronomical.
Well, and some of those it can be if it's not a grant or if it's not, if it's just tacked on there, if you just finance it in, your payment's going to be higher. Now, some people are willing to do that to avoid the cash layout to make that higher payment. But if you're using a grant or one of these other programs, it's not, because like the one I'm talking about, where it's 5 years, they put it on there, but you don't pay anything on it or towards it the entire time and at that 5 year mark it drops off, or if you sell it, you pay it. It's one or the other. There's no payments associated with it, so you're getting the reduction
in the payment from
as if you made the down payment, you're getting the reduction from the cost, which brings your payment way down.
Man, that is
that's a nice. That's crazy, isn't it?
all throughout life, I've always been taught there's no such thing as a free lunch, and that sounds about the closest that you can get to a freaking free lunch ever.
It is. It is probably the closest, and I'm not saying that everybody can do it. Some people can, some people can't.
Right.
But,
I'm sure it's
there's a
based on
lot-
your credit.
Sure,
but,
it is. Of course, it is. I mean, listen, there.
Hey, if you've had good credit and you've made all your payments on time, why shouldn't you have a chance at a program?
I mean, that's what it's for. I mean, obviously, if you have better credit, you're a better risk, and you get better rewards.
Right.
I mean, that's just facts. I mean,
right.
Sucks.
Welcome
some
to
people,
life.
but that is life. Yeah. I mean, but just because you don't have perfect credit doesn't mean you can't get qualified for good things like grants and stuff like that. There are programs.
Yeah.
You just got to say, yeah, I really do want to buy a house, and don't let cash be the barrier.
Yeah.
You know, if you are ready to make a purchase and you've got good credit, you just don't have money in your pocket, call me.
And when you
Call me.
say good credit, are you talking, 820?
No, I'm not.
750?
680 or better is normal.
Okay.
That's 680 is about where financing starts. I mean, I've probably seen maybe one 650, but it wasn't the best of terms. You
Gotcha.
know, it was a get me done scenario.
Right.
But 680 or better, you're going to qualify for most financing.
Okay.
If you get to 730 or better, you're probably going to qualify for the best of the financing.
Okay.
You know, and again, so don't let cash deficit be the reason. Call me, because there's too many good programs right now for people out there. If you've got good credit and you just don't have a large amount of cash.
Right.
And that's not one of those pull the rug out from under you at the end and go, surprise, you owe
Right.
$9,000.
Right.
No. I mean, before we even look at the first house, we'll have that ironed out so you know exactly what to expect, because that's what I try to do with my clients. Is I'm going to walk them through here's exactly what you can expect. This is exactly the way it's going to play out.
Right.
You know, and that way they know. So there's no surprises that are going to come up. I try to avoid surprises as much as possible. Surprises when you're buying a home are not a fun thing. You you hate those. But yeah, man, and even if you've had, if your credit's good and you don't have any current judgments against you, then yeah, you probably qualify for some of these programs that will save you a shit ton of money, literally.
Right.
A lot of money there.
What if you're on the opposite side of that and
You have a lot of money and bad credit?
Well, no.
Oh.
Just the opposite side of the credit. Your money's kind of tight, and your credit, you're climbing the hill to get up to that 650. Let's say you're at a 500 or something. What would you say is the easiest, quickest way to get up to that mark?
Yeah. So the fastest path to get to that mark is twofold. You need a credit card of some kind, even if it's a secure credit card.
Okay.
That you make payments on every month. All right. You don't want to pay the balance in full every month because that's not what they're looking for. They want to see that you can use a card, not max it out.
Right.
Okay, and make payments on it for a consistent period of time. So even if you use a secured card, that's fine. It's still building that credit. Now,
Gotcha.
On the flip side of that, the other thing you got to do is make sure you've paid off and or negotiated off any debts that are collections or otherwise.
Right.
And then, you start working on the rehab and the stuff that's on there, and honestly, in 2 years, you can rehab almost any credit. In a year, you can rehab most credit.
Okay.
If you're not just out of bankruptcy. So yeah, I mean, it's hard and not hard at the same time.
Right.
But it does require a little bit of discipline, and it does require a little bit of forward thinking. But because once you get that credit card, even if it's secure, and a secure credit card, if you don't know, maybe you're younger, is I give my bank $500 and they give me a credit card with a $500 limit.
Okay.
But it reports as a credit card on the credit bureau. So those payments show up and it starts to build that credit for you. Now, once you've done that 6 months and made payments on time, you'll start getting offers from non-secure credit cards.
Right.
And you got to be careful with those too. Because debt to income ratio matters when you're financing. That's a big factor is, how much are you paying out and how much do you have coming in?
Right.
Sometimes the hardest people to get done are people on a fixed income,
Okay.
even if they have good credit,
Yeah.
because they may not have enough coming in for the payment.
Gotcha.
And that can be, and again, there are ways to work within the system and make it work, but those tend to be trickier than, I've got a couple blemishes or things like that.
Right. Right.
But yeah, if you just, get your secure card or a credit card, make, a payment every month, maybe don't make just the minimum payment, maybe slightly above that.
Right.
And let that build up your credit and then get rid of it. And if you've got a collection, especially if it's older, first try to dispute it. Maybe you can dispute it. Who knows? You get lucky. They don't have the record. They don't respond in time, and it just gets wiped out. But if not, then you go back and what you want to do is you want to make an offer to them.
Okay.
Offer them, start with 30% of whatever the debt is. If it's a $7,000 debt, offer them $3,000, $2,800.
Right.
Say, if I give you $2,800, will you make all this go away? If I pay you $2,800 right now,
Right.
on the phone, if I give you this thing and you take this $2,800, will you wipe this out? And they may say no, but if you pay this much, we will.
Right. They'll come back.
Usually, they're going to negotiate.
Yeah.
Especially as they get older, they'll negotiate on it.
Oh, for sure.
Pennies on the dollar.
Oh, yeah.
But if you don't know that, you're not going to try that. And what is it they say? Hungry mouths get fed.
Yeah.
You got to speak and you got to ask them that kind of stuff. Let's see. Tactical Turkey said use that card for stuff you buy, gas, food, etc.
That's what
Pay
I've
it off on payday. Don't use it for extra stuff you can't afford. Yeah, and your credit will skyrocket. That's true. Tasha said I'm stuck at 690. Been trying to break that 700 mark. Okay, so if you're stuck there, so then my next question would be, okay, do you have enough credit on there that's showing to build it up? And number two, are your debts, are your balances a little bit high? Now, if you use, I'm old school, I use Credit Karma. There may be some better apps out there for this, but normally the app will tell you exactly what you need to do next. Credit Karma will tell you this is what you should do to bring your score up this number of points.
Gotcha.
And so if you don't have that, I would look at that, Tasha, because being stuck at a 690, there's a barrier of some kind. If you're stuck there, it's either, something in the not too distant past that's really weighing you down. It's the balances are too high on what you do have.
Right.
And oftentimes that can be a hindrance. If you've got 3 credit cards and 2 loans and the balances are high on all of them and you're making your payments on time, you got good credit,
Right.
but you can't break the threshold because you're maxed out on everything. And they want to see you have access to credit, but you're not using it all.
Right.
Which,
right.
Silly or not, that's the way the game's played. You have access to it, you're not using it all, which means you manage your money better, right? In theory.
Right.
That's what it's supposed to mean. But if Tasha, if that doesn't clear it up for you, just next time you're around, let's talk about it, and I'll look at it with you, and we'll figure it out. If I need to get you on the phone with someone, I will. She said her balances are 30% and below. I keep my spending down. I have one collection I need to dispute from 2015. So that's probably it. Oh, who did this artistic representation?
Yeah, we have our first submission from Little Doggy himself,
Oh,
Mr.
little
Woodall.
doggy. There's a little artistic representation of
Right.
Rich Rockwell announcing.
Yeah, that one. This one has a nice little cape on with it
Oh,
or something.
yeah, I like that. Almost a wizarding announcer there. Maybe you're going to do some Quidditch announcing. Yeah. And on the Nimbus
Harry Potter.
2000,
Yeah.
Yeah, not that you
Where
know
I don't
that.
even know the house.
Yeah, no, you'd mess that up for sure. Brandon said Experian is good too. Yeah, it probably is. Again, there are probably several apps, but I'm convinced based on what you're telling me, Latasha, it is that collection. So that collection from 2015, you get that, off of there, and probably you'll immediately jump to 710, 720, maybe higher. I don't know. But once you hit those numbers, then you're pretty much open door to whatever financing that you want to take advantage of. I mean,
Yeah.
you're real close to it at that point. So I would bet that's what it is. Take a look at that and see. But if not, like I said, if you're trying to figure out, I don't know, why I'm not getting higher scores.
Right.
Feel free to reach out to me. And if I can't figure it out with you, I got a guy who can figure it out, and he'll give you a roadmap, a printout, an email going, here, do this, 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 and this, and to give you the exact steps. And he's a finance guy.
Yeah.
So look, if you don't know, you don't know. I mean, shit, if your parents didn't equip you with that information and school didn't equip you with that information, and I would say that's the most of people out there.
Right. You
then
just don't know.
And the only thing is what you've seen on TikTok and Instagram. Maybe you want to consult someone who knows.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost you anything to get that consultation and go, listen, this is in a mortgage banker or a loan officer's best interest. Okay, this is how you develop the future of your business. Is you're gonna call them and go, hey, I'd like to buy a house maybe in the next year or 18 months.
Right.
I've got a couple things I think that are holding me back. Can you tell me what I need to do to be able to buy a house?
Okay.
And man, they will create a roadmap for you. They will print it out. It will not cost you anything. And not only that, but now you've developed a relationship with a finance person who may be able to, in the future, and that when that year comes, they're going to stick with you. They're going to check on you every so often. Go, how's it going?
Right.
How's everything coming? Are you seeing improvements? And they're going to help guide you through, shepherd you through that process, because it's going to result in a net for them.
Right.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, that's if that's what you're doing to make a living, that's what you're supposed to do. It's just like I have people sometimes who don't qualify for financing, but they're still going to want to buy a house in 6 months or a year.
Right. After they go do whatever they need to do. Yeah.
So periodically I'll check in with them and go, hey, how's it coming? What's going on? What can I do to help?
That's awesome, man.
Well, I mean, that's, again, I mean, it is awesome, but it's also self-serving.
Right.
I want to sell you a house or help you sell a house, depending on what you're looking to do. So it's in my best interest to help you accomplish that.
Right.
And plus, if I do, you're going to go, man, the dude's righteous, man. He got me.
He helped me,
He helped me actually buy a house, and that's what I want to do.
Right.
Is to help you get there, whatever stage of the process you're in. Now, I always tell people, sometimes you have people who bought houses before, and they're like, listen, I just need someone who'll make the offer I want and not get in my way. Yeah, I can be that guy too. Trust me. Hey, if you're a pro at it, I'm just here to make your offer and negotiate for you, and that's fine. Those are the easy ones.
Push the papers.
Yeah, those are the easy ones to do,
so the one with the cape on, that's a superhero, little doggy says. It's platinum.
Platinum Man.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. Platinum Man. Look at that special. Platinum Man. I like that. So what are you what are you thinking about on your announcing? I mean, what have you been kind of going over in your head to get ready for this?
Man, I've been going over everything, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit nervous.
Well, sure. I mean, it's a new role.
Right.
I mean, it's always a little anxiety-inducing to start something brand new and not know what's fully expected.
Right. I have been reading over lots of rules and everything, just of, how, because they're part of the AL League, so the Arena League or whatever. So, because there's so many different arena leagues out there, I've realized now.
There are.
And every one of them has a little bit of a different tweak on rules and things. So, but that, I've been looking up, public address announcer videos, just what's normally covered during the game, it's all what I thought anyway. So it's really not that different than wrestling. It's more repeated,
It's probably real similar in lots of ways. It's just you're applying a different sport.
Absolutely. So I know, and that's what I've asked, and I'm hoping, tomorrow is going to answer a lot of those questions, and I'll kind of get my scripts and my book together.
Don't forget to come Wednesday when the free Wise Guy bobblehead for the first 100 customers.
Right, exactly. They already hired somebody, Patrick. Don't be going and taking my job.
No,
I'm kidding.
Just
I'm
kidding.
No. But no, I've been checking that out. I figure, things like that. Announcements like, it's whatever, Bank of the Ozarks first down for the Hot Springs Wise guys.
Yeah, that's good. Hold on one second. The Mr. Tickles 85 said, good morning, fellow Twitchers. What's up, Mr. Tickles 85? The Mr. Tickles 85. Yeah.
Is that someone you know?
No,
No?
well, it could be, but I don't know him by that screen name.
Thanks for watching us on Twitch.
Yeah, I don't have a Mr. Tickles in my life until this very moment.
Oh,
so.
man, apparently we got a few listeners on Twitch.
Oh, yeah?
Goodwin Gaming just said, what's up?
What's up, Goodwin Gaming? Hey, I appreciate you being there. Appreciate everybody on Twitch that's doing that.
It's
also,
like the forgotten stepchild.
no. Also, on Clapper, over on the Clapper.
Yep.
We got that. We got Odyssey. People
TikTok.
on Odyssey, TikTok, Instagram. I mean, we're everywhere these days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I heard you set up a profile on Grindr.
Yeah, I just used that photo Mike made of you, the Platinum Man photo. Yeah. Is that okay? I figured that would be the most attractive.
Oh, so you're going to catfish now. Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to say, hi, my name's Rich, and I'm single, and I'm looking to mingle, you know.
Yeah, they said, Mr. Tickle said we're Facebook friends.
Okay,
Oh,
okay. Yeah. You just may not go by the Mr. Tickles 85 because I don't recognize that screen name. But
Something to
hey, Mr.
follow
Tickles.
up our previous conversation with
Yeah.
you and your Grindr profiles and Mr.
right.
Tickles.
Yeah, you funny man. Anyway, so you're boning up on that.
Yeah,
You're
so
trying to-
I'm practicing and just it's I have a feeling that I think Saturday is going to be mostly just off the cuff, off the top of the head. We'll
Yeah.
see what works, we'll see what doesn't, and we'll learn from there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's exactly
kinda
the
how I
way to
approach it.
You
Yeah.
know, that's listen. When I went to the Looney Bin, this is what I was telling Wayne: is look, I went an unorthodox route to
Yeah.
stand up, you know, and because when the first day he goes, okay, so you want to do these announcements, this, and this, and I did fine the first day, but afterwards he goes, so you want to work on this, and this on the announcements, and here's why you want to do this and this, and I was like, actually, I appreciate this because to be honest with you, hosting was, when I started in comedy, I started as a headliner. I shouldn't have been.
Right.
God knows I should not have been a headlining comedian, but that's just how
When
I
you're
started.
good, you're good.
I started my career that way because, again, at that time it was a different owner of the Looney Bin. They didn't want to have me as a host. They just wanted me to do open mic.
Right.
I understand why now. I have for years, but in that moment, in my young, angry mind, it was like, well, screw you. I'll just go somewhere else, and I did. But it took me a while to live up to the billing of headliner.
Right.
I mean, people had fun. They always had a good time. But so I was telling them, some of these hosting fundamentals in a comedy club, because I didn't come up in a comedy club circuit. I came up in the circuit I created at alternative venues.
Right.
So it's different when you're pre-promoting next week's comedy or these drinks or, the name of your wait staff or certain things that, I was like, really, it's been helpful to me to frame it that way.
Right.
So I feel you.
Yeah.
I was nervous too because it's like, I haven't done just a ton of that particular style of thing. But by the end of the week, man, I had it down pat.
Right.
I was like, no, I got this, bro. I got this. I was ahead of the game. I was like, yeah, got the. I know who's waiting. I know who all the comics are. I got all the names. I'm good. You're good.
That's what I'm thinking tomorrow after I get a chance to meet the team and meet the players and just meet everybody in general and kind of get a good feel for it. Then I'll know more of, okay, this is how I'm going to approach,
Right.
this beast. This is how I'm going to announce this person,
Joel says you should start selling shirts with your logo. Hell, I'd buy one.
Talking about the PATP logo?
The PATP or Rich Rockwell, which is it? If it's PATP, you can get that on the website now, patrickandthepeople.com. You can go get a shirt with the PATP logo on
Yes,
it.
you can.
Now, we probably should, once we develop out a logo for you, get you one up there too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm down.
Where
I
they
think
can
so.
they can.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's funny he mentions that because we've been working on a logo.
We have been behind the scenes working on.
Yeah,
something.
man.
We're not quite done yet, but I think so far so good anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. You may think, oh man, this shit sucks.
No, man. I've liked what you've sent me so far. I'm waiting to hear Joel whether he says because that's the other thing that I think of is I've thought and I've had people ask me for merchandise before, and I've sold merchandise before. Most of the time, it's just been a picture for $5 and I'll autograph it or something.
Right.
Because it's it's a weird feeling for me because number one, like when I was first tossing around the idea of having like, you know, a Rich Rockwell shirt or something
Yeah.
for announcing, I was kind of like, man, like the wrestlers are the ones putting their lives on the line doing this. And I don't say that to spice it up or, you know, sensationalize it.
No,
like
you're
literally
saying-
there is a
you're
danger.
saying these guys are the stars, but if we're being honest, Rich, and we are, because that's who we are, right? If I think back, you know, watching wrestling, and I've said this many times that, you know, the announcer, people love Jim Ross.
Right.
They love Jerry the King Lawler.
Right.
They love Michael Cole, or they
Yeah.
love to hate him.
Right.
You know?
Mean Gene
And Mean Gene
Okerlund, yeah.
Okerlund, one of the OGs. You know, I think lots of people probably buy merch from those guys.
Yeah.
Because that commentary voice that stays with you if you're a fan of the sport, it's important to you. It's a voice that, I mean, that's the voice telling you the story all the time.
Yeah.
So it is an important voice, and I think it's, while I can understand where you might feel these are the superstars,
Right.
I'm the guy holding the mic,
Right.
know? But in reality, you're the one most consistent thing of all of it.
Yeah.
That's facts. You know, that voice, that whether it's
Is what
Mean
you
Gene,
reckon.
it's Jerry Lawler, it's Michael Cole, it's, you know, whoever you want to put in that booth. That's the voice you hear most consistently, and that's the voice telling you the story. You know, so
get what you're saying,
It is
absolutely.
important.
Yeah.
It's very important to most people. And so I do think, you know, yeah, having merch is good. It's a good thing. I think as you continue to grow and expand, what you're in the process of, that you'll better value the contribution you're actually making, because it's not insignificant.
Right.
You know, not everybody can think on their feet and do those things quickly or have the kind of voice to do it.
Right. Right.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of factors in there that
I appreciate that.
yeah,
man.
no, it's just facts.
It's just-
I mean, I'm not trying to blow sunshine up your little skirt.
No, it's
Don't
just
get all
always.
It's in that grinder ad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but I'm just telling you factually that you give yourself more credit, maybe, and you will naturally.
I've just always been that way, man. I'm always, you know, thanks for letting me be part of the show, but man, go
Right.
thank the real stars.
No,
Like,
I hear you, and you know, that's part and parcel of probably why people enjoy and like you.
Right.
You know, because you're not that guy.
Right.
You know, most people don't like that guy.
Yeah.
You know, now if you're real over the top, Conor McGregor, for example, he's that guy, but he's so far over the top. I love it.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know, I mean, I hate to use the name, but Trump, for example, the people that love him love the fact he's so far over the
Oh,
top.
yeah.
You know what
Oh,
I mean?
for
That's
sure.
what they love.
For sure.
So sometimes if you're gonna show your ego, show it to the millionth degree.
Yeah.
You know,
stick with that and roll with it.
be so
and
far
own
over the
it
top,
and-
yeah, that people are like, yeah, that's funny. But otherwise, I mean, yeah, me and you are that same cloth where, yeah, I'm not. It's hard for me to come out here and try to just start listing accolades or be that guy.
Yeah,
I don't.
I'm just like, yeah,
It's
I've
not
done some cool
I
things,
don't
man.
I
I've
wouldn't
had
call
some
it
great
imposter
opportunities.
syndrome. You know, I know that's the popular phrase right now, but it's more like I've experienced various levels of success in my life, and I know where it comes from, and it comes from the people.
Right, right.
That's where it comes from.
I would wholeheartedly agree with
and
you.
so when people lose sight of that, they lose that.
That they lose that edge, yeah.
Yeah, no,
No, and I will. I you know, it's funny that you put it that way, but yeah, man, like that clicks because without people supporting you, without people being and you know, I hate to use fans, but you know,
fans,
would all
followers,
everybody
friends,
right.
yeah, however you want to apply it, family, friends, followers,
Right.
You know, I mean, all of them fit,
Right.
In some way or another. But yeah, I mean, listen, again, as I've said a million times, what gives me the greatest satisfaction, bro,
Yeah.
and I mean this, all bullshit aside, okay? When I showed up to the Looney Bin Sunday night,
Yeah.
and I see all these PATP
Right.
people, and they're supporting, and you know, they're high fiving, and they're happy, and they can't wait to get me so high I can't get myself.
It's a good feeling.
It's an amazing feeling to share.
Right.
You know that we're all together as a family.
Right.
And when you look in our comment section, you know, they have it is a family.
We're a tribe for the
We-
tribeless.
something like that. Yeah, that's a real good. You know, I don't know if you stole that.
No, I really didn't.
But I do like that.
That just was
A
off the
tribe.
top of the head. A
No.
tribe for the tribeless.
And that's kind of right.
Yeah.
It kind of is right, because I feel like a lot of us are the people who, you know, maybe we don't fit in everywhere,
Right.
you know, but we fit in here.
Absolutely.
And that's what matters to me every day. It's the reason that I do it every day, is because I love that connection. I love to see the Tasha Max who say, you know, I wish I could connect with more people here, and then see her and Tom out at a table full of PATP people being with friends.
Right.
That's fucking dope.
Right. Absolutely.
I feel like that's a greater impact than any stupid, funny thing I could say.
Right.
And I mean, I know the stupid, funny things helped us get there.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
know
I mean,
that.
everybody loves
but
that,
but
but-
I'm saying that for me, that's the payoff that's greater than any other.
Right.
You know, the Brandons of the world, the Eugene Belcourt, when somebody gave him a truck.
Absolutely.
These kind
We've
of
had a
things.
really, when you think back, because we've almost been doing this a year now.
Yeah.
And like really, when you think
8, 9
back over the
months, yeah.
last year, man, you and us and I don't just mean me and you. I mean, you know, Amanda, Bundy,
Everybody
Chad,
affiliated.
everybody that's been involved, man. Like, it's kind of amazing the things that we've accomplished over just the first year, man.
It really is. I mean, and people don't understand. And when I went to the blocks, that was maybe the greatest takeaway that I took from there, is how many things we were doing correctly.
Right.
How many things, I shouldn't even say correctly, how many things we were doing that were at the forefront of what was being taught.
Right. Right.
You know, the way we're building our community, the way that we engage our audience, the way that we, you know, try to celebrate people and uplift people and
Absolutely.
push people up. You know, a lot of the things we do in social media, you know, I'm going to tell you this flat out. There are a lot of blog or podcast type people who would kill to have half of the audience and engagement that we do.
Right.
They would kill to have it. You know, and we're just now really ramping up.
Yeah.
I mean, we just hit a curve, you know, in the past couple weeks where TikTok shot up and Instagram shot up, and we're seeing all these people start to show up. They're starting to realize what's going on.
Right, it's starting to get
here.
out there. It's
The word's getting out. He's back. Come check this out. Or, you know, man, this show's crazy. I never even knew it until now, you know. And that's dope as hell. You know?
Absolutely.
It's dope.
It is.
Tasha said, truly blessed to meet Brandon, Mike, Andy, Rich, Amanda, and Chad, and many other PATP people, all them from knowing Patrick. I'm just, but I'm only a catalyst to that. I'm only a spark plug to that. You understand that? That's the beauty of exactly what I'm doing. She just named all those people
Right.
who are now her friends.
Right. Right.
Literally.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is
It
awesome,
is, man.
That's
It
an
is.
awesome feeling.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say, because you've and to piggyback off of her, but before we had gone into that, yeah, I mean, there's, you know, because of you, I don't know that ever, you know, Latasha, you know, Mike, Andy, Tactical Turkey, I don't know that our paths would have ever crossed in life.
Maybe not.
You know,
Probably not.
Right.
Honestly.
but
Because a lot of us, if you look at the makeup of the people you're talking about, they're people who often, while they like talking to people or engaging people in some ways, they're also people who often keep to themselves.
right,
And so they might not normally be in a group.
right,
It's not a place they're normally comfortable in.
right,
You know,
right.
because we're socially awkward in some way or another. Just facts, man. Facts. You know
No,
what I mean?
you're absolutely right.
And so to be able to come somewhere, and I know this, God, I hate saying these words. These are the worst words I could say, but to create a safe space, so
Yeah.
to speak. A space where people who are mutants like us can come and have a good time and not feel like quite the mutant that they were when they woke up.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
yeah.
You know,
it is.
and that I feel like is what this is all about, man.
Yeah.
You know, we are the voice of every person. We are
The tribe
we
for the
are
tribalists,
The
that's
tribe
what I
for the
said.
tribalists. We are the blue collar folks out here, you know, all trying to make it, trying to scratch by and make a bill or get our credit up or, find a way to get a better house or a better car, whatever the hell it is in our life that we're trying to accomplish, we're all in that boat.
Right.
Right. And so knowing that, hey, I'm out here with other cool people who are in this boat, that, it's a dope feeling to know that's cool.
Right.
Because so many places that, fuck, man, everywhere you go.
Well, you just have to worry about people backstabbing, people airing your stuff out there,
They're trying to take you down,
Right.
trying to shoot you down. They'll try to, accost you online. They're trying to shake you down, get some money from you, scam you, whatever.
It's like I saw this one I will steal. Now, the tribe for the tribeless, if somebody else has said that, I have no idea because that just came off my head. But
no, we're gonna do research on it because I may hold that one. That one.
Copyright that one, man. You can
strong.
have it. But the one that I saw a few days ago was competition happens at the bottom, collaboration happens at the top.
And we are collaborators for sure. See, they're validating what I'm saying. Tactical Turkey said a safe space for us mutants. That's
Right,
exactly right, bro. You think I'm not a mutant, bro?
They say you're Professor X.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take that. Just the king of the mutants. So that's it. Yes. Brad Elkin said, I don't keep many friends, but excited to meet all you guys soon. Wish I could have made it to the Looney Bin Sunday. Yeah, Brad, exactly. Come on in.
Yeah, I think
Get on in here, man.
We've actually messaged. I think he's going to try and come in next Wednesday into the studio. So
yeah, that's
we're trying
great.
to work something.
And that's what I'm saying, man. Is that's what I want to do more of.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what I want to do more of.
Right.
It's all because so many of us feel that way. Like we're odd, we're weird, we're
right. You're just a little.
We're not quite.
Hey, Bill Engvall said it, best. It's 15 degrees off cool. That's kind of how I feel.
And I think, whether you call it imposter syndrome, whether you just feel socially awkward, whether you're on the spectrum, I mean, whatever term du jour you want to apply to yourself. If you feel like I'm somehow I'm a little bit of a mutant and I don't quite fit in, then this is where you belong.
Right.
That you have found the right place for you because that's what it's about.
We may have a couple laughs at your expense, but hey, it's because we love you. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no,
not in a bad way ever.
No, but that's true. We'll all laugh with each other,
right,
and at each other, but we're not mean spirited, and that's the difference. There's a lot of mean spirited people, man.
Yeah, man.
And you'll notice as soon as you get into this. As soon as you get into our chat area, as soon as you come to an event, as soon as you show up at something we're doing, you immediately the difference. You're
right.
Like,
oh,
this is me.
Cool.
These are my people.
Right.
I finally found my people.
Right.
I belong here.
Absolutely.
And that matters, man.
Whether you're a wallflower, you're the main act.
It doesn't matter.
Come along.
Yeah, all of us. That's what I'm saying. It matters to people to belong somewhere.
Right. And everybody needs that.
Well, but the problem is everybody wants you. The social media world, the TV world tells you need to belong to this clique,
right?
Because this is the right clique for you morally to belong to. You need to go stand over here and separate yourself. And the other one say, no, you need to be over here. And we're like, screw all that.
Right.
Why don't you just come over here without the pressure, just hang out and have some damn fun.
Right.
Because that's what we give a shit about here. Period. End of story. I mean, that's the fact. Let's laugh, let's have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Anyone is cool in the right crowd. I'm a celeb at the gun store, but if I were at a breakdance competition, probably not. It's about your circle. Yeah, Tactical Turkey, Andy, you're right. Yes, at the gun store, you probably are that cat. But in the rest of the world, you may not feel like that cat.
Right.
But here it doesn't matter whether it's guns or just life. You're Tactical Turkey. Your Andy does.
Right.
I mean, that's it. You got just like Andy.
We want to hear what you have to say,
your name
man.
Scratched into the bottom of your boot.
Yeah.
Andy. Right there. And then you belong here, bro. I mean, that's it. You belong here. And then that's what you got to go tell the people you do know.
Right.
The few mutants you do speak to, tell them, hey, get over here because this is where you wanted to be all along. You just didn't know it until you got here.
Right.
And that, to me, that right there, when I showed up to the Looney Bin, Yes, I was excited to perform for everyone. I can't lie to you. That's a thrill.
Of course.
It's a thrill to make that many people laugh at one time.
Right.
There's almost not a better feeling I can describe to you than living in that very second where everybody's laughing and you're standing there.
Oh, absolutely.
That's an awesome place to be. But none of that's better than when I get off the stage and the show is over and I'm outside and people are talking to me, or the millions of you sorry sons of bitches that came up and got me high as hell. But while you were doing it, were telling me, man, my dad listened to you. Know how many people tell me that? My dad listened to you, and now and they say it like I'm going to feel bad about that because I'm old.
Right.
Listen, you think I don't recognize where I'm at in life? I'm not an idiot. So it's a thrill to know that your dad listened and now you listen.
Now you've gone into generations.
And maybe your son will listen
Right.
at some point, or your daughter at some point. God love her. It's a thrill to know that.
Well, and not only that, I mean, you're to trigger that nostalgia in somebody, and that's a very, there are things like I've said, and my dad passed away a couple of years ago, but there are things that I can even think of in this day that my dad used to listen to that I'll listen to, and it'll trigger those memories. So to know that you've had that effect on somebody is a very
cool.
good feeling.
It is
man.
cool when someone says, "Man, I've been listening to you since junior high."
Right.
I'm like, that's awesome. It's actually awesome, man. I mean, think about that. That means that, for some reason, for the rest of that person's life, they're going to remember that they listened to me and have some kind of fond memory of that. That's cool.
Right.
That's super cool. If that gets passed down to someone else, it's even cooler. It's great that if you break through like that, that's really cool. And I love meeting people like that. It's like, yeah, because sometimes they'll remind me of dumb shit I said. Like, I remember when you did this rant and it was about this character and this is what you said.
Right.
Like, they held on to that shit from 15, 13, 10, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
That rant stuck out to them. This right here, man.
That was your moment.
Wow, man, that's awesome.
Right.
That you specifically remember that. Because you never know when you're doing it. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. That is a great point. Sorry, I was catching up on comments.
Oh,
here.
what do you got?
Let's see. Tactical says, I'm super competitive. I'd probably win. What were they talking about? The little doggy said he'd root for him at a dance competition.
Yeah.
Kramer Landon's been in saying, what's up, Chad
Kramer?
Shin said he
Welcome.
needs to see Patrick live. Again, it's been so long. Yeah. Listen, if y'all are watching and you've been watching and you're not a commenter, say what's up, man. Because we know you're out there. We know you're watching.
Yeah, you got to
join in on the conversation.
Yeah,
man.
let us know you're here because it's
Don't be afraid.
This isn't like other places. I'm telling you. When you join in here, you'll see. You'll see exactly what I mean. These folks they're waiting to say, hey.
And that's what, because like the other day, Chad Shin, and earlier on Twitch when we had that Mr. Tickles or whatever
Mr.
pop
Tickles
up,
85?
like we may joke and laugh about your username or whatever, but man, come out, say what's up. We want to know you're there.
Yeah,
listening,
absolutely, we do. Tasha said my 16-year-old daughter came on because she likes Patrick, 16, and she relates to some of Patrick's ideas.
Yeah. Her daughter came into the studio and did a show. Yeah,
that's dope, man. That's dope. That's so cool. That's so cool. That's another thing too. Seeing people get to come in, see how the cheese is made, hang out.
Right.
Sometimes they just sit in the chair over here and they watch.
Right.
Sometimes they jump on, but it's always fun to see somebody who's excited for the first time to sit down in the chair and just be able to talk on a microphone.
Right.
And it's just their first time. Sometimes they're nervous. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're over the top, overexcited.
Right.
But all of it adds up to cool,
They said, Kramer said, not quite junior high school days. I wouldn't even say school, because even school had its own cliques and everything.
Yeah,
man.
no, it was super clicky.
I don't remember high school as a very great experience friend-wise for me.
I mean, I had friends, but I think a lot of us felt that way, and probably you were in some group as a label.
Right.
Shockingly, I was often labeled a stoner.
Yeah, I was with the stoners and the nobodies.
Yeah. I wanted to be the top popular, but
no.
I didn't play football.
Yeah.
And I smoked the weed, so
Smoked that devil's lettuce.
Yeah. So I was often, but people did, I was known at least. Most people seemed to like me. There were
Right.
some that didn't for understandable reasons because I often ran this mouth in the same way and with less control and more stupidity involved. You know what I mean?
Chad says, had my son listening to Patrick and Corey since he understood what radio was.
Say that again now.
Chad said, had my son listening to Patrick and Corey since he understood what radio was.
Yeah, no, I mean, and if I told you how many times,
You heard
it's
that,
such
yeah.
an awesome thing. It never ever gets old.
Right.
It never gets old to meet people. When people come up sheepish, like, I don't mean it. No, don't do that, man. Just come up and talk to me because I don't give a shit if I'm at the store.
Right.
I don't care if I'm where I am.
We're people. We're
I'm
people,
just-
people, man.
I am. I just, tell me.
Right.
Don't. It's always the weirdest thing to go, I saw you in Walmart earlier. Listen, stalker. Come up and
Just say
talk
what's
to me
up.
instead and say
Let me
hi.
know you're there.
Yeah, just come tell me hi. So say hi to me. I don't want to bother. You're not bothering me. It's literally, I love it.
Well, and
You
for
know?
me, honestly, like on the flip side of that token, yeah, like definitely come up to me because especially if I've like seen you somewhere and I recognize you like outside,
Yeah.
of wherever that normal, like if I went to a show and I know you real well from being at the show and then I'm at a Walmart and I see you there. Like, and I don't know you on a personal level yet. We haven't had a good,
Yeah.
5-minute conversation. Just for me alone, I'm going to be kind of reserved and not want to come up to him and be like, hey, I saw you when I was announcing at, the Wise Guys or whatever.
And bear in mind, too, I try to, and I think I do a pretty good job. I try to remember everybody's name I'm able to.
Yeah, I'm
and I have
horrible
little
with
tricks
that.
with that, but I don't always. But I want, bear in mind, Rich may meet 1,000 people doing the Wise Guys thing, and you may be one of them, and it may have been a good conversation.
Right.
But you may have to prompt him and go, hey, remember I met you at the Wise Guys, and we talked about got to die. And you're like, oh, yeah, what's up? I have a guy, literally, swear to God, man, swear to God. This dude, he called me about getting a house, and
Yeah.
we've been working on it. And he goes, do you remember the last time you saw me? And I know he expected me to say, I sure don't.
Right.
I said, seems like it was about 6 years ago at Fitz Auto when I was doing a remote, and you were driving a Dodge pickup of some kind that was souped up. And he goes,
That probably blew his
he
mind.
goes, no, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely, I remember. I tried to store it somewhere in there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You have to teach me
not
some of
every
those
time.
tricks.
Not every time will it stick.
I remember when, Tasha, and I don't, hold anything over her for this or anything, but she had told me, because it was probably about, the third time that I met her that I was finally like, oh, you're Latasha, okay, and you were there at Arkenbrawl, okay.
Yeah.
She said the first time that she met me at Arkenbrawl, she thought I was an a-hole,
Yeah.
and I was like, no, look, I promise, it's just when I'm
You're
at a
just in
show,
business mode.
I'm in that mode, I'm getting called a million, dude, I don't remember
No,
anybody.
You're in full lockdown mode at that point. You're just in business mode.
Right.
And
It's
people don't
so
understand.
easy for me to get in
It's-
that mode.
Well, it is, and people don't realize because you're walking around outside the ring that you're thinking 7 steps ahead about the next announcements, about who you got to bring up, about this, about that.
Right.
So it looks like you're just walking around.
Yeah.
But you're really in your head thinking through all these things.
Yeah.
And I've been where you are.
It was funny, just as I said that,
that's-
she commented it and said
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no,
So-
but look what happened. She realized, oh no, he's cool as hell.
Right.
It's funny. She said Patrick called my birthday out for 5 years in a row. I felt special. June 16th. is my birthday. Patrick, don't forget. Yeah, I'm going to do my best not to forget that for sure. But yeah, that was one of the things that when I was on the station that I started doing because they always wanted to do birthdays of celebrities, which is great. I mean, I guess it's cool to know a celebrity has the same birthday as you, kind of.
Right.
But I was like, I just want to shout out people that listen and that I see on social media
Right.
who are supporters. I want to celebrate their birthday. I don't know George Clooney.
Right.
Why do I give a shit what his birthday is? It's not like he's my friend. I'm going to
It's not like you got an invite to the party, man.
But Tasha Mack was cool people. So I
Right.
was like, I'd rather you shout out her birthday than I would to shout out freaking Kim Kardashian's birthday. Who cares? You think Think
I mean,
she's
I agree with
looking
you,
for your
yeah.
birthday card? No, and that every chance I could, on that program, that was what I did. As I would connect with people
Right.
on the local level, because to me that's the magic.
Yeah.
It's not that. Look, I could interview Joe Exotic a million times. No disrespect to Joe, he's good. I enjoy talking to Joe,
Right.
but Joe is Joe. He's a celebrity, and that's great. I'd much rather long term be hanging out with the Tactical Turkeys and the Tasha Macks and the people of that ilk, because they're my people.
Right.
Joe Mike could be my people if he moved here and hung out, but probably Joe ultimately would be like, yeah, he's not exciting enough for me or gay enough. And I get it. I fell, okay? But Tactical Turkey said, well, mofo, you wouldn't do mine. Andy, you son of a bitch. If y'all have an event and under 21 can come, I'll make sure I bring Hayden with me. He'll enjoy seeing Patrick again. That's Chad. Yeah.
Arkansas, July 5th.
Yeah, man. I mean, anytime, man, that you can, come by the show, you can bring him by. Just
Well, he's
hang
saying if
out.
we do
No,
it. Yeah. Oh, I got you.
But
You
I'm
can bring him
saying
up
you
here.
can always bring him just right up to the studio. Right up to the studio. Bring him.
Tactical said I even told him I was a mattress actress at one point.
That's funny, because I used to do those as well. The mattress actress, because it was funny. Yeah, no, Andy, not everybody could make the list, but I think you're getting your due, man. Listen, I'm very thankful to everybody. Anything we need to cover before we bounce today?
Hot Springs Wise Guys, Saturday. Be there. Doors open 6 o'clock. Bud Light party kickoff. Just wanted to get it in one last time because I'm not going to be here tomorrow, man. It's going to be
that's great.
awesome. I will see you all there in some way, shape, or form. If you're out there, let me know that you're there.
Let's try to get out there Saturday if we can, and everybody support Rich and the Hot Springs Wise Guys, and make this a big thing here.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll see you next time, y'all.
Later, everybody.
Late.